Good morning, good morning. How is the time change treating you? Maybe I'll make myself a little bit bigger here. All my stuff is like in the way, but whatever. Hey, Ashley, I got your package. It was so sweet. And on the day that the cat was like, no, wake up at the normal time. We've gotten in the habit of not letting the cat in at night. Like, we let her, and then she stomps on Dylan, and he's like, no, I'm not having it. So he decides, nope, no cats allowed. Yay! Zan, you're working hard on your Van Gogh night, Van Gogh-vember, and I started this yesterday. I was too excited. I saw the delivery notification and I was like, all right, we're starting. Thank you, Chrissy. I remembered I had it right as I was starting this, and I was like, oh, this is appropriate. Now, this is not Van Gogh artwork. This is Randall Spangler artwork, but inspired by Van Gogh, right? And I didn't do a floss tube, but I need to. But let me show you what I started. I started my Starry Night. It's teeny tiny. It's like an inch. Oh, it's not focusing. There. Yeah. And I didn't finish the Cafe Terrace because I need to get a sharp needle and I don't remember where I put them. So I use tapestry needles for stitching, but they're not, I need like a really thin beading needle or embroidery needle for my backstitch, because it's on 28 count, and backstitching on 28 count is not, it's not it. I mean, it looks okay. It looks okay, but it's really hard to get this detail. Like, I did not do half of these lanterns, and that one's crooked. Yeah, backstitching on 28 count is not fun. Hey, Ashley. Hey, Vanessa. I did like it, Ashley. Sorry, I'm going back. This is so sweet. It fits perfectly the 11 by 17 Q-snap. So that's what I'm gonna use the pony one for. I'll show that in my floss tube. I don't know if I'm recording a floss tube today. It's been a weekend. I didn't do anything yesterday except cross stitch and start this. Hi, Silja. Philly was good. We didn't spend too much time there. So we went to Dylan's teacher's house, and then we were like, should we sightsee? Maybe not. Hang on, let me move this a little So we drove by the Liberty Bell. We just saw it. And then we got cupcakes and went home. The cupcakes were so good. Let me see if I can. Adjust this a little bit more. So that my hand is. I don't know how to do this without my hand being in the way. Uh-oh. I'm noticing that I sometimes am not accurate with my parking here. Yep. Yeah, I think that we'll be back in Philly at some point. Yes. Yeah. Do you sell bags, Ashley? Because they're beautiful. Yeah, we'll probably be back in Philly, so if we need to do some more sightseeing. But I was really impressed with this skyline. This is really cool living on the East Coast where there are actual skylines. I mean, LA has a skyline, but it's like so sprawly that it's kind of underwhelming. So I was like, this is a cool skyline. And we drove across, we went across the bridge. That was the double-decker bridge. I think I've been on a double-decker bridge, but not, I don't know if I've ever driven on one. Like me driving. So it was nice. Yes, they're beautiful bags. Sorry, if you don't know what I'm talking about, Ashley sent me some bags. It was so sweet. And a little drawing of Susie. It was so cute. I was like, what did I do to deserve this? So 28 count is awesome. I like stitching with one strand. It's so dainty. Ask me ask me if I like stitching on one strand after all of my ends are frayed and stuff. Oh. Sorry. Bump. This is the annoying part about stitching diagonally is like, now I have one stitch up here, and then I have to go back down here to park for the next stitch. So it's a little annoying sometimes, but I'm stitching with one strand. Hey, Carol. Yes, I'm doing this diagonally. Diagonally. Hang on, let me park and then I'll talk about it. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. So I do have a video where I explain my diagonal parking method, but it is pretty much copied from Blitz Stitch, and I think that Brian at Blitz Stitch, I think that he took it from Carolyn. I'm not quite sure. Also, Karen the Needlebug has lots of really good videos on it too, on diagonal stitching. But I have one 18 count on diagonal, or 18 count full coverage piece that I'm doing diagonally with 2 strands, and I was like, you know what? I want to stitch one with 1 strand, full cross, 28 count. So that's what I did on this. You know, I'll probably regret it because I was kind of like on this kick of only doing full coverage with 10 stitch. And now I'm like, who cares? I'm gonna be working on it for years anyway. But then future Kaylee is gonna be like, girl, you have like 14 full coverage projects. Which is a lot. Right now I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I think. It's a lot. But all of them are, well, except 2. All of them, well, yes, all of them are different, and let me explain how. So, 18 count, diagonal stitching, 2/1. Then I have a 25 count, 2/1, half stitch. Diagonal stitching. Then I have, is this even, yeah, this is interesting to you. I keep forgetting that like cross stitchers love to hear about stitchy things. Then I have, oh, that's my giant. I should do a whip parade. I'll do a whip parade at the end of the year. Because I have many more whips than last time. Not many more, but quite a few more. I'll have to watch my old one and look back. My first video was a whip parade. Good morning! No way! Somebody else on Instagram started it too. So then my 25 count, that's a huge piece, so I'll be stitching that 5 over. And then I have, what did I start next? I think I started the beach, Manhattan Beach, that Lindsay sent me on 40 count, diagonal stitching again. And then I have 40 count semi cross country. And then this one. Those are my full coverage. I mean, I guess if you can count the seasonal earth cell, which I have not worked on in a long time. I'm behind, definitely. I've just been feeling the full coverage and tinies. That's so exciting! I didn't know you were stitching it, Lindsay. Send me a picture or post it on Instagram. My laundry's done. I might go switch it. I want to get my laundry done early. So in my job, in my teaching job, it is the switch of the quarter, which means that I see new students tomorrow. So the students that I've been teaching, I won't see again until possibly next year, if I'm there next year. And I don't know. It's been extremely stressful. I just keep getting really fantastic encouragement from my colleagues. Okay, I'm going to go switch my laundry because I hear it beeping again. Does anybody have a washer and dryer that just like beeps incessantly until you switch over your laundry? Ours does that. So I'm gonna go switch it. I need a Susie cam. She's sleeping. Okay, I'll be right back. I'm back. Oh, hey, Christy. Hi, Haley. I hope my students are angels too. Your dishwasher does that, yeah. Since when do our appliances have to sing to us? Like, they're just appliances. They're just a dishwasher, or they just wash our clothes. Hey, Kaylee. Oh my gosh, all my Van Gogh-vember people. All my people participating in Van Gogh-vember. Van Gogh-vember. I still do need to send you something, Christy. Thank you. It's a Heaven and Earth Designs by Randall Spangler. And it's in celebration of Van Gogh-vember. Doing Van Gogh cross stitches of Van Gogh inspired things. Like I have this. I started this and then I didn't finish it yet. But this took me like, I don't know, an hour. So this one stitches up really quickly. And then I got most of the way through my back stitching on Cafe Terrace at night, and then my needle wasn't sharp enough, so I need to go dig out an embroidery needle. Or like a beading needle. I don't think I have any beading needles, but I do have embroidery needles that I can use for the back stitching on that. 28 count back stitching is like... Hey James, I missed your live. I think you did it when I was sleeping. Alas, time changes. I'll have to watch the replay if it's available. I keep teasing that I'm gonna do an ASMR, and then during my week I like don't feel like doing anything in my free time because I'm just so over it during the week. You know, I feel like Easy Guide is the way to go. Full coverage. I'm probably late to this party, but it's so easy. It's probably why they call it Easy Guide. Funny. Kaylee, you're hilarious. Oh, Haley, don't worry about it. Wait, do I seriously have 18 people watching right now? What? Hi, everyone. Or just stitching along with me. Dude, those are the most satisfying. I don't feel like I would enjoy stitching light, like white on light fabric, but it looks so pretty. Like lace. Looks like lace. Yeah, I found this on Etsy. And it was a full yard. It was reasonably priced. Hang on, I'm gonna move this up here so I can see. Right now my chat is hidden like amongst my... There, that's a little better. Hi, Sheila. Got some good brass ensemble here. That was not in the right place. Whoops. Ugh. You know, I will say frogging with one strand is not very good. Because I think it stresses the thread a little bit. Not a little bit, a lot of it. Yeah, that one looks really cool, the cryptid cell. I like it. Here's some Susie news. We are going to, so she's on a prescription diet, and she came with 2 different kinds of food. She came with like this chicken pate that's just basically like a bunch of ground up chicken. And then they also gave us chicken stew that has some rice and carrots in it. And we kind of think that it was upsetting her stomach, maybe? Because last night she puked like three different places. And then she had she had really bad diarrhea. So we're gonna stop feeding her the stew. It was very bad diarrhea. Not fun. Ooh, I get to start a new color. Okay, this part is gonna be boring. Because I have a bunch of just single stitches. Oh. Oh, Zan! Welcome to the dark side. I didn't have this fabric ordered. I ordered it on the 1st. Because I didn't have a big enough piece. And then as soon as I got it, I started it. I have to say, it's really interesting being in a place where you just trust yourself to cut your fabric. Famous last words. Yeah, I feel like monogamous stitching doesn't last very long. If you're watching FlossTube, it doesn't last very long. Because you're like, look at that person, they have like a few full coverage pieces started. Huh. If they can do it, I can do it, right? Loaded question. I think I know what you mean, Gail. How do you deal with the issue when the bottom cross disappears under the weave of even weave? Your monogamous stitching lasted 2 months, yeah. Gail, I'm gonna see if I can demonstrate for this, because I think I know what you mean. So for me, I use like a continental stitch variation. Let me get you in real close so we can see here. And the idea is that you are always crossing the weave more than once. I don't know if that makes sense. So, for example, my first leg is going this way diagonally. So I start in the bottom right and go to the top left. So that when I go to my next stitch, the one that's right next to it, I'm crossing 2 threads on the back. Instead of going like up here, down here. And then if I go up here, then it's not crossing any in the back. But now, since I know that on the back, this is crossed over 2 threads, because the back of the stitch looks like this and not vertically, it's diagonal, like a really steep diagonal, then I know that it's not gonna slip. Does that make sense? Let me get some running stitches here and I'll demonstrate a little bit better. Or I could just demonstrate on a raw piece of fabric. So for me, it's that I'm always crossing on the back. I'm always pulling my thread diagonally instead of vertically if I'm on even weave. I used to do it on Aida as well, but it's less, I mean, it's kind of pointless to do it on Aida unless you're like really looking for neat stitches. I used to do it on Aida and now I'm like, that's kind of a waste of floss because Ada has a nice grid. Yes, it does get bulky with confetti, especially if you're using 2 strands. Like my 25 count 2/1/2 stitch is quite bulky. Gail, does that make sense? I can demonstrate a little bit better. That, and also, you know, tension might have something to do with it. So if you're pulling really tight, it might cause the stitches to slip. Good. So for example here, well, oh, you can't see it. So again, I have 1 stitch to do underneath this. So instead of going here, I went up, down, and I'm going up, down. And then when so I'm going back up now to cross these. And now there's a thread on the back that this is just going to cross over and it won't slip under. Because the top crosses won't slip, but the bottom ones will. You're right. 1, 2, 3, 4. And let me show you what the back of this looks like. So this is also on 28 count. I did this one on 28 count. Full cross. And this is what the back of it looks like. It's really bulky. Knot. Yeah, the back does get really bulky, but since you are pulling, this might get funny, because you're pulling the thread away. How do I say this? You're pulling the thread more away from the hole that it's going to. That doesn't make any sense. Like when you're working cross country and you make a cross. So say that I stitched this stitch and my next stitch was going to be over here. I would want to come up in this hole, down in this hole, so that on the back this would pull this thread away from the hole, so that if I need to go in, if I need to, you know, come up in this hole again, that it will be easier. As opposed to if I had gone down in this hole, carried my thread up, then this thread would be covering the hole, and then if I bring my needle up in this hole, it's going to split the threads and make it not look as pretty. There's lots of videos on directional, like what direction you should be worrying about your stitches going. I would guess that Needlebug has some. Karen has all those kinds of videos. That's a technique that I was thinking about, like, before I started, when I first started stitching, and my sister was stitching, and she was, you know, she just did this technique where you go diagonally on the back instead of vertically. Yeah, pulling the opposite direction. Pull towards the center of the X, exactly. See? My friends help me clarify what I mean. And then for me, I've said this a lot before, but the reason that I do diagonal stitching and not cross country anymore for some projects is that I feel like by default the stitches are neater because I'm putting my needle up in a hole that has 1 or 2 threads in it as opposed to one that has 3 or more. 2 or 3. Oh. And I really enjoy the process. I feel like it takes a longer amount of time, and threading your needle does take time as well. But I enjoy the process. It's like a printer. A very slow printer. 310! My first black. I don't even have a 310 in here. Where's my 310? Aha. I found some. Do you have that issue where it just black is your 310 is just like floating around the house? Well, that was a long one, but oh well. And I have to park this where all these are hanging out. My stitching does go like that. I don't know, it's satisfying, right? Do you hear the baby? We have a neighbor baby. And the baby sometimes cries. Poor baby. Ooh, that black stitch. Oh! Get it! Using logic! That's the name of the song. Yes, chaos. I'll have to go and watch my WIP parade. Anybody here watched my original WIP parade video? I feel like such a different person than I was then. Whoop, sorry. Chill. Ooh! Last stitch in the diagonal. Okay, I'm gonna break my own rule here. So I'm gonna pull away from the center of the stitch, but because there's all these stitches around it, I'm like, whatever, it looks neat. And we're going all the way over here. Oh, you can't see it. Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa. Take you for a ride. There we go. Oh, are you inspired? Hi, Zoe. Thank you. I feel like the brightness on my computer is kind of weird. The dark. I can't tell. Is it well lit today? Yes, this needle minder, I bought it when I was working on my other Starry Night, which has since been UFO'd. I don't ever see myself going back to that one. Thanks, Carol. What? All right, new strand of 820. This is a popular color for my projects right now. 820. I guess 2 of my projects. Because this one is used quite a bit in Manhattan Beach. Not quite a bit, but it's one of the colors. I need to get back to that one. I said I was going to a couple weeks ago and I never did. Oops.
Susie? Susie?
I got the cutest picture of her. I'll have to just put it on my Instagram. She does this thing, Susie, my cat, she does this thing where she, like, if you're laying down on your back in bed, she'll come right up on your chest. Speaking of, I have stuff on my chest. She'll lay down right on your chest, and then in your face she'll go and put her ears back. And it's so cute because she like purrs and then she's like like scrunches her face back and puts her ears back. It's so cute. I took a picture of her that way and then I sent it to my family, and Susie has like kind of a teary eye. So she like looks like she's crying. It's kind of goopy. And everyone who I sent the picture to was like, what happened? Even though nothing happened. Okay, here's some running stitches, Gail, so you can really see what the technique is if you're still curious. I guess the point is that or a simplified way of saying it is that you're always going diagonally on your fabric. And if you aren't, you're crossing more than one thread. New starts are always really exciting. Do you feel that? Like, I feel like I'm not going to work on anything else this week. You know? Because, like, it's so satisfying to work on something new. And then I'm going to get, like, I don't know, 4,000 stitches in, and then I'll be like, let me work on something else. I'm hoping that all of these projects will give me a variety. And I'll, you know, if I don't feel like stitching on 28 count, I do have 40 count. Or if I don't feel like stitching on 40 count, I do have one on 18 count. You know? You just have a bunch. Is that how they get you? Is that how you end up with more whips than you ever thought you would have? Probably. Look at this little curly thing. I like this. I can't really see that in the pattern or in the mock-up. I love that about cross stitch. Like, you'll be stitching this really tiny part and you're like, what does this even look like? And then after you've stitched for a while, then you like move back from it and you're like, whoa, that's what that looks like. I feel like that is the case for most projects that are like an image or a painting. It's like you can't really tell what it's going to be until you step back. That's what I love about going to a museum, and especially like oil paintings that were done in like the 1600s, and you look close at it and you're like, oh, there's a big gloop of paint right there. Ugh. Oh, look at all these little tiny white, like, just like they look really random when you're looking at it close, and then you step back and you're like, whoa, that's what it looks like. It's really cool.
Art is fascinating. Art is beautiful. Art. Cross stitch is art.
Right? Is my music loud today? My music must be kind of loud. You know, I've been streaming for a few months now, but I feel like I'm still a noob when it comes to sound, knowing how to set the levels. You know, something that would be helpful is if I watched it back after. Oh. Oh, Zan, I'm sorry. Everybody send good vibes to Zan's dog. Oh, and that's what's in your cross stitch. Your pattern. Oh. That's so sad. Don't be sorry about sharing. I keep thinking this when I see, I don't know, organizations like only sharing good news. And it just seems like ingenuine. Like, that's why, I mean, I don't talk about some things here, but I'm not like, I don't ever want to be happy-go-lucky all the time. Like, that's not what life is. You know, like, sometimes life sucks. Dylan has been... I don't think he would mind me sharing this. He's been reading a book from a philosopher... no, not a philosopher, a psychologist. And, he advocates for acknowledging emotions. So, like, if you feel really sad, then just say, I feel really sad. Don't be ashamed to feel sad in front of somebody else, or don't push those feelings aside. Just feel them. Feel the feelings. Go through them. Say, yeah, it sucks. And then it makes it more manageable. And then also another technique is to say, like, what's factual in the situation. This song is not really doing it for me on this discussion. And then saying what's factual. So if you're feeling, I don't want to say negative emotions, because negative to me, negative means like you should avoid it, you know? When you're feeling emotions that don't feel that, like, all of these things imply that they're bad emotions. But they're just feelings. They're just everyday things, you know? Or they're part of life. So if you're feeling sad about something, or like I've had lots of nights where I just like I'm not feeling optimistic at all, and I feel regret and shame. And this psychologist says, you know, just name the facts. Is it something that is under your control? Is it something that you could have controlled? Or just say, you know, I feel angry about this. I feel sad about this. What am I going to do to fix it? And if you can't really do anything, then it's easier to release responsibility. And it's easier to move past it, rather than dwelling on what I could change, what boy, I just made this whole discussion very vague. You know, like, just facing the situation and then saying, you know, yeah, it sucks. I'm sad about it. It makes me really anxious and depressed, but if I'm doing everything I can to help, then I can let myself feel these sad emotions, but I don't want to let it take over my evening, take over my whatever. Oh, little Zane. So you know that you're loving on your dog. You know that you're doing your best to make him happy. And feel those feelings. I just have this weird feeling like I just made that whole thing about myself. Yeah, make a channel! If you want to. Yeah, exactly. And I get in this cycle where I get emotional about something and then that's all I want to feel. I just want to feel sad. And I don't want to fix it because I'm sad. It's an all too common emotion for me this year. Oh, you don't think I made it about myself? That's good. Mm-hmm. Xanax. Aww. I need to sneeze. Ah. Xanax stitch. That's good. Zan, you should, I mean, if you make a channel, you should definitely talk about how shipping to your country is just, it breaks the bank. It doesn't really make sense for you to ship to South Africa. I feel like this, whoops. Do you ever just make a cross again because you didn't do it well the first time? Oops. I think I missed marking one off. Yeah, Zoe used cocoa. Whoa, this music, y'all. It's getting me in the zone. Like James said, it's like putting me in a trance. I have been watching, Yay! I'm excited to hear your accent. Yeah, I do that on my 40 count because I know that it's like so tiny and no one's gonna notice. And also it doesn't really bulk it up very much. So I'm just like, wow. Well, that would be cool. It's always good to offer something new to a community that doesn't have, you know, your thing. I mean, does anybody else know of any South African floss tubers? $7.97. Okay. Dylan's making sandwiches. When we went vegetarian, one of the things that I got really sad about giving up, I'm not embarrassed because I live in America. It's not my fault that I feel this way. But one of the things that I got really sad to give up was McDonald's breakfast sandwiches, sausage, egg McMuffins. And so then when we went vegetarian, Dylan was like, I could make these at home. I mean, we could have made them at home to begin with. Yeah, that's awesome, Carol. And so it's kind of become a little, I guess, tradition, but not like one that we stick to that has to be, you know, a certain time. But for a while when we were still in California, he would make the egg sandwiches frequently, like every week. And they're so good. Just like fry an egg and 2 eggs. Put them on either English muffin or a bagel. Melt some cheese on there. Salt and pepper. And you got yourself an egg sandwich, baby. So Dylan's making the egg sandwiches today. I'm so lucky, y'all. Anybody else have a partner who cooks? I feel proud of myself when I go to... So this semester I taught who we call the newcomers, who are students who are from different countries and have limited English. And when I bring my lunch, or I eat lunch with them, and oftentimes I let them eat in my room because the lunchroom is chaotic, to say the least. And it's, I mean, I feel like it could be overwhelming to anyone, that lunchroom, because you have students out of their seat, and they're supposed to be sitting down, and they're running around from table to table. And so after a while, they started to ask me if they could eat with me every day. And I was like, yeah, of course. So then, this is a long story. One of them always asked me what my lunch was, and she said, oh, did you cook it? And I always was proud of myself when I was like, yeah, I actually did this time. But more often than not, I get to say, Dylan cooked it. I'm so lucky. Yay. Yeah. Uh-oh, here's my sneeze, I think. Nope. Yeah, that was what it kind of started as. It was that, I was busy teaching and he was at home more, so he started cooking. And I feel like I'm totally dependent on other people to function, because I will go hours without cooking, and then if I'm like, oh, I should cook, I don't feel like it, and then I just like snack on something. That's not healthy. So I feel like I wouldn't function very well on my own. Susie. Zoomy Susie. Coffee is life. Carol. If you're not looking for advice, then just ignore what I'm about to say. But before we went vegetarian, we had been eating at least 2 meals a day that were vegetarian. So we ate like curries, like Middle Eastern, Mediterranean dishes that are vegetarian. So we eat a lot of chickpeas and lentils and quinoa, like things that are high in fiber and also protein. So those are like, we have some staples that we cook a lot, which is a chickpea curry called chana masala, and we make red lentil dal. We have an Indian cookbook, and it depends where you live, because In California, it's really easy to be plant-based because there's access to a lot of ingredients. Whereas in North Dakota, where I'm from, it's much more difficult to find plant-based ingredients that are as affordable as meat is. Like, that's a big meat is a big industry in rural areas, and so, you know, you can get it, and it's cheaper than some plant-based options. So, I mean, we eased into it because it wasn't like a cold turkey thing. It wasn't just like, okay, all of a sudden we're vegetarian and we have to stop eating when we've been eating meat for every meal. No, we had it 2 to 3 times a week before we just went vegetarian. While acknowledging, you know, some parts of the country or the world, it's all about access to ingredients or access to, like, you know how many vegan restaurants there are in North Dakota? Probably like 1 in the whole state. But in California, you'll find a vegan place on every block, or LA at least. So it's just, you know, it's all about where you live and understanding that. I feel like some people who are vegan or who are really like outspoken about it don't really get that, you know, sometimes ingredients are not available. And while to you it might be easy to be vegetarian or vegan, somewhere else in the world it might not be. I just made that a soapbox spiel. You're welcome, everyone. Yeah, it's much easier. Sorry, Leanna, I kind of missed your comment before. It is much easier to cook for more than one person because then you have leftovers, and then the leftovers don't go bad because you're not like only one person trying to finish your... Yeah, trying to finish your leftovers. Carol, I feel like it helps a lot when you have somebody who's on board with you too. And who's willing to try it. Yay, Christy! 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. Is that right? I think that's right. I hope that's right. I like this song. I was like, oh, this is feeling like it's going faster. Well, duh. Whoops, excuse me. Because it is. Because the diagonal is getting shorter. Meow. The only thing about this needle minder is that, like, it's hard to grab just one needle if you have multiple on there. Right, Leonie? I think, well, I don't know what roommate culture is like in other countries, but in America, we're all, like, protective over our stuff. So, like, to think that you can share with someone is kind of... I mean, it really depends on who your roommate is, but... Or your flatmate. But people are really protective of their stuff. And sharing is, like, not a... I don't know. Correct me if I'm wrong, Americans. But, like, sharing is not a super common thing for roommates. And I don't know. Does it have something to do with the fact that sometimes you might have a stranger as a roommate? There were some things that our roommates decided to share with us, or that we all were like, yeah, we should share these things. Like, sometimes even toilet paper, roommates don't share that. Or paper towels or something. Ooh, the sandwiches smell good. Ah, yeah. Well, if you know each other, then it's... You have a little bit more of an understanding. Not sharing toilet paper is weird. Yep. Oh, do you hear my laundry? It's gonna beep, beep, beep again. Did we get to the end? I think we got to the end of a page of songs. I had to check. I haven't even looked at my camera for a while. I feel like this is like the viewers stream. You have to let me know if something's going weird. Okay, we're gonna be done in a little bit. Because I hear... Yeah. That's true, Vanessa. Well, I feel like... Boy, we're gonna get political a little bit. Like, America, you're free to do, like, freedom. That's a big thing. Whoa! Okay, this is a discussion for another day because I just see a completed egg sandwich for me. So, we almost made it to the bottom of this. And I stitched 202 stitches on this live in an hour and hour 30. It's not too bad with the confetti. Put a pin in that. I'll talk about that later. Yep, I'm leaving too, Ashley. Yeah, I'll see you soon. I think I'll just record a floss tube today. Thanks for hanging out. 19 people. Wow. Thank you for hanging out with me. I appreciate it. And I'll see you soon. I think I'll just record a floss tube today because I've got stuff to talk about. Like my new start. So yeah. See you next time. Have a great day. Bye.